Welcome aboard this week's podcast of Dudes Dish Disney. Get ready for amazing attractions across America. Beer halls and bar rooms, banquets and beverages, a collection of characters and colleagues.
No cupcakes.
It's Dudes Dishing Disney. This episode of Dudes Dish Disney is sponsored by Magic Vacations. Magic Vacations. Discover the magic of travel. And now your hosts, the dudes of Dudes Dish Disney.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Dudes Dish Disney. Joining us today is our producer and resident tech dude, Figgy Boy.
What's going on, guys?
Also joining us is our co-host, Ryan. He is the number one Disney dude.
What's up, dudes?
And back as a returning guest, joining us just a stone's throw from the Jersey Shore, is Bob Martin.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Bob? What's going on?
Welcome, Bob. Welcome, everybody. Everyone knows I'm Congo Carl, former Jungle Cruise skipper. What's up, dudes?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. He introduces himself as everybody knows that I'm Carl.
He goes into confessional and tells the priest, you know I'm Congo Carl.
He doesn't even have to tell him. As soon as he goes into that confessional, it's like, hey, Congo, you're back. 3 times today.
Drops the Bible. Drops the Bible again.
He's got a few good leads. All right. So welcome, everyone. It's nice to see Bob back. It's been a while. Bob, how's your summer going?
It's going. I'm just glad I woke up and above ground. You know, when you wake up every day and you're not dead, it's a good day. And that was really depressing. Fuck that. Oop.
Yeah, cut that out, John. Especially coming from a young guy.
We
I hate when a young guy
here.
talks like that.
I always have to watch I forgot. There's kids that listen to this.
Yeah.
At this point,
Only
we've
the
become
Sadowski
adults.
kids, and trust me, they're fine.
That's a great point. So Ryan, what do you got, Ryan?
Yeah, so we got something going, just so our listeners know that this is not a total confused cluster. Bob has been invited on by Ryan, and myself and John have no idea what this week's show is about. Ryan has come up with a concept, and we don't even know what he hasn't even give us the bit of his clue. So you're gonna see our reactions to it and figure out why we're here on this week's podcast, just as we're figuring it out. So I'm gonna turn it over to Ryan and let him run with it.
I love how nervous this makes everybody. This is my favorite part about it.
There's some true fuckery going on here.
John just crapped his pants. All right. So, I mean, listen, I honestly was like thinking about something and just like going through what kind of shows could we do. And I was like, we need to get back to having more fun, right? And we have been recently, we've been doing some more stuff where we're having more fun. And I thought to myself, like, it would be really fun to kind of like host a show myself and lead the guys down a path. I won't delay any further, but what I really want to do is I purposely made this something that we didn't have to have anybody prepare for. You guys are all Disney experts in your own right. You all know the parks really well. We've done some Imagineering type things. Yeah, go ahead, Carl. Now you're blurry. How far behind is he? He just gave me the...
Am I back?
Holy shit.
There goes Ryan. Everyone else is frozen.
What the fuck?
No,
It's just
everybody
me, Carl.
else was not frozen. It was just you.
Everybody else was grooving.
Yeah, everyone went blank on me. Yeah, so everyone went blank on me, and
You're going in and out, Carl. It's like weird because like you'll catch up and then you're totally fine.
What the hell are you downloading in the background, dude?
let me ask my wife.
Porn.
I told her to stop that scissor porn.
Wait, why would you tell her to stop that? The appropriate response is, hey, let me know the next time.
And make sure you get it in HD.
Yes. Oh,
4K, please.
oh God. Ugh.
I'm going to be stoned out of my mind by the time he gets back and actually gets this thing up and running.
That makes for a good show.
Yeah, maybe.
As long as he doesn't break a chair.
Now you got to tell Bob.
What happened?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't know about that.
No.
When we were out at Ryan's, Carl broke a kitchen table chair on Ryan.
Yeah.
On you?
No, not.
Not
Oh.
intentionally.
We weren't having a
You doing
WWE match. in my
WWE? What the hell?
All right. I kicked Kim off Amazon.
If that opened up your bandwidth, you got real problems.
Seriously.
No, she was downloading, Amazon Prime.
That
Oh.
would, yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking like she was shopping. I was like,
No. Amazon Prime. We're watching a really good, funny series, and
well, now what do you? I got to know what are you watching.
Clarkson's Farm. It's from the UK.
Oh, is that what's
The
his
race
name
car-
from? Oh,
the
I
race-
watched an episode of that. That's good. That's really
A race
good.
car driver who's retired, and he decides to buy like 40 acres of farm and farm it for himself, and everything's a cluster. Everything he tries, it's interesting because it's ecological, but it's like any city guy. If we decided to become a farmer, we wouldn't have a clue. Except the difference is he's filthy rich, so he just buys all this. He bought like the first thing he did was buy a Lamborghini tractor,
Nice,
right?
nice.
So, all right, so that's better. So you want me to get back to the other screen?
It
Stay
doesn't
here at this
matter.
point. Yeah. Just for
Okay.
continuity, it's easier.
Okay,
You want me to do the intro again or not?
up to John.
No, I'll piece it together. I'll make it work.
All right, let me just do the handoff to Ryan because that's when I lost him. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So if everyone's wondering why we're fumbling around and don't know what to say, it's because we absolutely don't. So John and Bob and myself have no idea what this episode is about. It was Ryan's suggestion to invite us all on, and he was going to run with it. And he just gave us those immortal New York words, trust me. And we are doing that. We're trusting him. And so we have no clue what this is about, but we're going to turn it over to Ryan and learn right along with you. You'll get to see our first reaction to what the heck is going on.
Actually, that's the whole show. That's it. I just wanted to make you guys nervous on camera and on voice. That's it. We're done, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
No,
That's easy.
listen. This show is not complicated, and I don't want to belabor the point for our listeners. But the idea was basically, I'm going to take the three of you guys. You're all Disney experts in your own right. I'm going to toss some concepts at you, and I just want to get your thoughts naturally. I didn't want anybody to prepare for it, right? I wanted this to be a free-flowing conversation based off of what I give to you, right? So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to play a little game, and we'll go one person at a time. And what we're going to do is I'm going to spin a wheel, and it's going to tell us which park we're going to go to. And then I'm going to spin another wheel, and it's going to tell us what land we're going to go to in that park. Once you get the land that you're in, it is your responsibility to come up with one thing in that land you want to keep, one thing you on that land you want to remove, and one thing in that land that you want to refurbish and turn into something new. Okay?
Carl's going to be able to remove something?
Carl can remove something. He can cry while he's doing it.
I was
don't
going to
care.
say, that's going to be very emotional.
Okay.
The only rule is that you have to keep something, you have to remove something, and you have to refurbish something. Okay? And it can be anything. It can be an attraction. It can be a restaurant. It can be a show. Okay, it can be anything you want it to be. It just has to be from that land. So, do we have any volunteers on who wants to go first? Because I didn't create a wheel for volunteers. All right, Bob's going first. Awesome. Okay.
I nominate myself for tribute. Let's go.
All right, I love it. I love it. The guest
All
jumps on. Carl shakes his head. God, no, please, not me. Don't make me go first. And our guest is like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. All right. Love it. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen. If I can remember how to do that. Present. I'm gonna share my screen, and now we should be able to see it. There we go.
Awesome.
Okay. So, Bob, first things first, we're going to see what park you're in. And we're going to Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
All right.
So, we're going to keep this. Oh, by the way, we're going to keep this in Florida. So, we're going to leave Magic Kingdom in there because you guys can get Magic Kingdom as well. And I'm going to go to the Magic Kingdom park, and now we're going to pick your land. All random. And for those who are listening and not watching on YouTube, this might be a good reason for you to jump on over to YouTube and check us out. So Bob's land is going to be Fantasyland. So Bob, I just removed. Well, Fantasyland I'll remove so nobody else can do it. Okay. So Bob, keep, remove, and refurbish.
I feel like he got a nice softball here. This
Well,
is
that's
this
what
is-
happened when you offer to go first, John.
and also too, Fantasyland is like, taboo for some people. It's like, don't touch this, don't do
That's
that,
true.
don't do
that's
this.
true.
Just
All
like
right, so
everything
Ryan,
else
take
that
down the
you're
wheel so we can see each other's comments and reactions, and we're not looking
Okay,
at
you
the
don't have to
wheel.
be so angry about
So boring.
it. Jeez.
All right, so let's see. Get rid of. I would get rid of the Little Mermaid.
Removing Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
All right.
I think it's another dark ride. It could be done better. You already have a Little Mermaid presence in Hollywood Studios. Do we really need it in the Magic Kingdom too? I think something different could go in there. Refurbish. I would refurbish Peter Pan's Flight. I would make that more cutting edge technology in a way. I mean, you could do so much more with it than just, the same old sets and everything else. Maybe we get a little more interactive. And what's my other one?
You got to keep. What are you keeping? The same, absolutely. If everything else was torn out, this would be the one thing that would stay.
It's a small world because it's a Walt. It's one of the things that Walt is famous for the most in that land, in my opinion.
Interesting.
All
How
right.
do we feel about those guys?
I mean, I'm a little surprised we're keeping Small World, but I do get Bob's point to it. I mean, it is the cult following. It is the classic. It does have Walt's name written all over it. I honestly figured that would have been the first one that would be ripped out, gutted, and set fire to. But
You can always tell the people who hate the earworm, right? You can always tell them.
I don't. I mean, I don't.
Ripped out, set on fire. It's gone.
But what I got to say though, I mean, I think I enjoy the Disneyland version better because they've at least modernized it a little bit by putting versions of the characters from now in that format, and they're adding the new stanza from the Sherman Brothers. So there's a little.
Has
bit
anyone heard that verse yet?
Yeah.
Live? You have?
not
Okay.
live yet. November. I'll see it in November. But
Okay.
yeah, it's exciting. But sorry, John, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. No, you're fine. I said my point there, but I definitely feel you there. I mean, it's an earworm. It's annoying, but I mean, it does deserve to survive a little bit longer, at least till somebody gets their hands on it.
I mean, with the Little Mermaid too, you got to fix it in that under the sea where she's there. If it gets stuck in certain positions, she looks like she's on crystal meth and she's just stoned and like. So you got to do things differently.
That's a reason to keep it, Bob.
Oh. Well, maybe if it was more lifelike, maybe the Japanese should get involved and make more of a.
I mean, sounds like a
small
refurbishment.
version, maybe. I don't know.
Sounds like a refurbishment, right? And,
True.
and that's the fun of this, right? Is to really think about like, could it be better refurbished, right? Small World is a candidate for refurb as well. I would actually have removed the Pinocchio.
The Village House.
Village
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get rid of that piece of crap. The only thing good about that is the windows that look into Small World. That's
And-
it.
And that the little kids can write their wishes in the book.
Yeah.
And that that's something special that they can do. But yeah, I you know what? I agree. I rescind my thing. I will save Little Mermaid for a sluttier version, and I will get rid of Pinocchio.
So
Better
I
Puka
have
Shell.
one point of clarification in these rules, is Ryan, when you said,
There's always a point of clarification.
well, I
for
just
you.
want to make sure I
Once you
answer it
play the game.
correctly. When you said keep, and you said the premise, and maybe you just said this to encourage Bob is if everything else was gone, you'd keep one thing.
Yeah.
Is that the premonition? Like everything's gone and all
Yeah,
Fantasyland is
like it's the one untouchable. It's the
okay.
Is what
Oh, it's
I
the
mean.
one untouchable, but doesn't necessarily mean everything disappears around it.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. I guess what I'm saying is if somebody put a gun to your head and said, you can only keep one, which one are you keeping?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, that's a good first step into the world. I think I am curious how people would respond to this, right? Especially with the I think Little Mermaid is probably a choice a lot of people would agree with in terms of removing. It's so dead. Even in the busiest park days, it's a 5-minute walk on. So I think that's one of those.
It's longer to meet the live mermaid than it is to ride the ride.
Yeah. I think it's one of those attractions that even the most staunch Disney fan would be like, okay, go ahead and get rid of it. Right? Like it's no problem. Okay, cool. So who's going next, boys?
Yeah, I'll take the volunteer here. See what happens.
Great. I hope you get something terribly difficult.
I hate you.
All right, let's go back to the park. There is a little surprise in here too.
Of course,
somebody.
He's thought of everything, folks. He's thought of everything.
John is going to get Hollywood Studios.
All right.
Now, I intentionally did not put all the lands in Hollywood Studios because there's a bunch of little lands that have like not a lot to it, but we got enough in here to make it worth our while. Let's give it a spin. Like I didn't put Commissary Lane in there, although I guess I included it.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's what you get for going second.
Wow.
Welcome to my world in drafts, John. That's what happens when you don't get to go first all the time. Don't worry, Carl. I'm removing this before you get mad at me. All right, John.
All right. This
Wars
is
Galaxy's Edge. You got to keep something, remove something, and refurbish something. And when you refurb, talk a little bit about what it is that you want to refurb and how you would refurb. I think that'll make this a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, so I am definitely going to keep Rise of the Resistance because that ride still to this day is probably one of the best rides at any theme park in the world.
Even though it's constantly operating in B mode. We're okay with that?
I still am because it still works fairly well and drives the point home, even in B mode. I've discovered. I know it's not as amazing, but I think it still does the justice it needs. So
fair enough.
Remove.
Carl's eyebrows are going crazy right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking here.
You can't see and you're listening to us. Carl's eyebrows
is like
I'm giving the Walt Disney one eyebrow, two eyebrow, right?
I thought it was more Groucho.
Freaking me out a little bit, man.
More Groucho Marx.
Those eyebrows aren't bushy enough for being Groucho Marx.
Oh my.
John, we've given you time. This was filler for you.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, he's too distracted by us and not realizing we're trying to help him out here.
We'll save it on editing, John. It'll make it look like you responded right away.
Oh, I know. I the more time you hold off, the worse it is. For remove, I'm gonna have to say the marketplace. I think they could have done a better job with that. I don't know. It seems way too overcrowded to me. Every time I've been in there, I mean, the shops are cool and everything, but I feel that Disney could have gone above and beyond with that a little bit more than they did. Made it a little bit larger, made it a little bit cleaner than it is currently.
So Black Spire Outpost is gone.
Yes.
The thematic centerpiece of the land is gone.
Yes, exactly. And I think something else could have been put there. That makes sense.
All right.
And
it's tough to pull something here, so I'm going to give you that credit.
Yeah, that's why there's a little hesitation thinking.
You didn't have to get rid of the whole thing, but okay.
I know. It's a little extreme, but I get it.
At least you didn't say blow it up and set it on fire.
Yes, that's true. for refurbishment, I would say Smuggler's Run. It needs some help. It really needs help. It was cool the first 2 or 3 times riding that, and now it's like, okay, we're in this, and it's the pretty much similar experience every time, even if you have a full crew or not, and you're still not getting really the best out of it than it could be, even if you're missing key positions or people that shouldn't be in key positions are controlling those, because it ruins the experience. So I think
if you're not the pilot.
Yes. Yeah. So I definitely think Disney needs to look into that if that was ever to happen, because you could make this so much better, and just it could turn it around. I mean, it's already a decent ride, but after the 3rd time, you just go, I don't know if it's worth riding anymore. So
one of my hopes is right now it's still fairly busy, right? It'll still have a 40-minute queue or something like that. You know, on a busy day, it might have 60 minutes. One of my hopes is I think it's inevitable that becomes almost like a Star Tours, where it turns into a 15-minute wait to get on. And I think one of my hopes is when they get to that point, they just start saying, okay, you're going in this pod as a group. And if there's 2 of you, then there's only 2 of you. Or maybe they take the 2 and they take people from single rider to fill the rest, right? But like, to your point, John, it's not fun when a family is like goes in and they put their 7-year-old as the pilot, and then you're stuck as a gunner or an engineer, like watching this kid crash into everything and making you feel like you want to throw up. So, you know, I think it would be totally fine if you take a family of 4 and put them in there like that and say, hey, you choose who the pilot is. I don't care, right? It's your family, your experience. You can't do that with a 50-minute wait, because that'll turn it into a 2-hour wait. But if you do it with a 15-minute type queue, like, I think that would work for them.
When we went on it, they put a 5-year-old girl in the pilot seat in one, and the father in the other, and the mother and the son. The little girl wasn't even watching. She just screamed at the top of her lungs because she was scared. The father's laughing and videoing, and then they're sitting back going, what the hell?
Yeah.
And because we're the engineers. So it's like the most useless position in the thing. And we're like, okay, when is it over? Because every time she just screamed. It was cool to be the kid who watched all the Star Wars movies when he growing up. And then it was over when the kid's screaming and it wasn't fun anymore.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a totally fair refurb, for sure. Any other thoughts? Anybody else in the land or anything you do differently?
That was a tough one, John, and I think you did a pretty good job on those 3. That's you know, I was trying to think about what I would do differently, and I don't think there's anything. I mean, my gripe with that land is 2 attractions don't make a land. There was supposed to be 3. There was supposed to be a dining experience. Let's go. There's space there. Let's go. Let's get it done. You know, that should be on the short list to some of the additions that the company, you know, kind of committed. And it would get a real reboost to that fan base, which would help with sales, you know, to bring all those people back, you know. So I don't understand why that's not being addressed quicker.
What was that ride when they originally announced it was some attraction they announced? I forget. It was like riding some creature. I vaguely remember.
It was one of the ox-like
the tauntauns
that had seats on either side of it, kind of like an old-fashioned elephant ride that you'd go on the zoo in the 1900s, and you'd sit or stand on the sides, and it would just be a transportation method, kind of like a streetcar going to different section A and section B. There was going to be a path behind it that would go into some of the forest and everything, in some of the concept art. So that was that, and then the dining experience is what happened over at the hotel. Which was one of the highlights of the hotel experience, and that easily could have been incorporated to kind of a dinner theater, you know, in Galaxy's Edge. But yeah, I think you did a good job. I was, you know, good for you.
I think if I was to refurb one thing differently, it would be exactly what Carl was mentioning, which would be the dining experience. I would take Docking Bay 7 and turn it into a character dining. You know, I would actually probably take that. I would take Ronto Roasters. I would refurb that whole wing of that into one giant. You can still have a Ronto wrap. I'm not taking away the Ronto wrap.
I know, but that's the experience of seeing that thing fired up in the gunning.
But
and
you
all.
can. But what I'm saying is, you can build a wall around it. You can keep it as part of this restaurant and just expand the whole area into a giant restaurant, so you can have a character experience. Right? You can have that in there still. There's no reason not to. Just open it up and put a character experience. I mean, like, how cool would it be to be sitting and eating and have Darth Vader come up and grab your shoulder, or Kylo Ren, like to grab your shoulder? Like, that would be super cool. And now that they're starting to roll out, Luke into the parks and some of the characters like that into the parks, even more, right? Even more so.
Well, somewhere Michelle Webster felt the disturbance in the Force when it was thought you were removing her Ronto Road.
I swear I just got a text message that says, "What the hell are you talking about right now?" And a certain 4-letter word that starts with a C. But anyway, so
Carl.
Carl. Yes, Carl. All right, we'll move on to the next one. So, Carl, we're going to get it back over to you since you decided to go last. And let's see what we got for you.
Okay.
So every park is available.
Not too nervous. I'm not too nervous.
Every
I'm
park
not
is
too
available.
nervous.
Oh, this is so fitting.
Oh, come on.
This is so fitting. Epcot for Carl. Epcot for Carl. I mean, like,
Oh, boy.
Scripted this any better. I'm glad I'm showing this live so people know that.
Come on, World Showcase. Come on, World
I mean,
Showcase.
Don't give him the layup.
It's
Don't
gonna
give
be
him a-
World Showcase.
Don't give him a chance to get rid of Figment.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
World Nature.
World of Nature. Okay. Well, I am keeping at all apparent costs Living with the Land.
Yes.
It's one of the original OG attractions. It's held up. It's stood up. They've tweaked it, and everything about it is still intact. And that's nice. And I think it's too popular that it would be sad to go. I am refurbishing the Living Seas with Nemo. Since they took that over in Nemo, they gutted a lot of what was going on in Alpha Sea Base afterwards. And you walk in there and it's so empty and it's so bland. You could be in any aquarium in any part of the country. And actually, you could be one of the worst aquariums in any part of the country because there's so little going on in there. That space is ripe for some of the, I would bring back some of the original divers and the dive tube.
Well, they did bring the dive tube back.
Yeah.
Just
That's
started.
good.
came back as
But make it more active. I know, Bob, you've swam with the mammals there. And so that's great. I would introduce more things like that. I would put, if you still were going to keep, I would dump the IP actually with Nemo, and I would do something else more. Look at the ocean is what 80% of the globe is the ocean. There's so much to learn. There's so much to explore. There's so much future there. There's so much that you can do in educating. There's so much new technologies that are coming out to help preserve the ocean and solve. I was just at a meeting last night to talk about mitigating, the rise of the ocean and flood issues. I have a friend who's developed a really cool way to raise and lower lobster traps so you're not interfering with whales and subjecting them to tangling into nets. There's so many cool things that you could get minds going with, that you could kind of bring a little bit of the old school Epcot, or you could still keep the Nemo thing, but make it a little bit back to the edutainment part of it. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely refurbish that. I would update the menu in the Coral Reef restaurant. The view is still good, but some of the stuff on the menu's got to change. It's the only place in the Magic Kingdom, the only place at Walt Disney World property you could order trout, but who cares about ordering trout? So, so certainly some things there. There's so many great cuisines, both national and international, and experimental things that are going on with seafood, that you could really make that a lot more interesting in what's going on there. So that's my number one.
I like how you just refurbished the whole pavilion.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't pick an attraction. You just said, screw it. We're doing the whole pavilion.
Right.
Okay.
Keeping the theme, but just making it what it should be. worthy of, right? And I'm removing Moana, The Journey of Water. I'm just ripping it out of there. I think that was
Here
one of
comes
the
the hate.
biggest disappointments that
Wow.
Disney did for 2 years of walls to relieve that. You can leave her as a fountain somewhere, that one main centerpiece, but the rest of it, again, my whole argument with that is that, it was a reintroducing the jumping fountains from the Journey of Imagination, but putting lush, greenery around it. I would, I don't think the IP belongs there. I understand the conservation message and the moving messaging in there. I think she belongs, at the Polynesian with that message somewhere, which, she started to do that. And you could have made the second timeshare unit that kind of an interactive water experience or pool, and some of what she's done, and brought that over there. But to put it there, I don't think it's a respite from the heat like it was intended to be. I think it's a cluster walking through there, and it's just a reason for it's a reason for you to understand that there's little kids in there getting in the way of your drinking as you walk through there. So I'm ripping out Moana.
That's what it's really all about. That last part right there.
Yep.
That's it's funny because, Carl, there are so many things you and I agree on, and there are so many things we are very far apart on. And that is definitely one that I think we're very far apart on. And I think I know where it comes from you. I think the IP bothers you just because it's Epcot and the IP in there in the first place, right? But I will say I think there's a much larger opportunity to remove something and replace and refurbish something in that area than the Moana, right? I think you got the whole area over by the Pixar Short Film Festival, which I actually think is a cute set of movies that they run, but you have the whole area next to it that's nobody even walks on, right? And I would just remove the Pixar Short Film Festival and everything over next to it, and I would put another attraction in.
And where's the Pixar Short Film Festival?
Just to the left of
Figment, the exit of Figment.
Well, isn't Imagination? But Imagination is not part of land. Is it part of nature?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought Imagination was part of Celebration.
No, it's
Okay.
World of Nature.
Yeah, it's
Which
weird.
that's in its own right.
I mean, that's in the wrong place too, but that's another discussion.
So Ryan, but
Okay.
they also have that meet and greet for Disney Visa card holders, which they can move and put anywhere else. But that's
Right.
the other thing that's up there.
Yeah. But again, you can put that anywhere. There's you just need a small space for that.
I wasn't even considering Imagination to be part of nature.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's too cerebral to be.
I think it's by default by where it's located. That's how they. I recall the original maps looking at it for it to be included in the other part, so I just didn't follow through with it.
Yeah, they should have just done World Imagination, honestly. And they could do that too. They could call it World of Imagination and put something else, put a Figment-based ride in there, or like a roller coaster for all I care. I don't John's like, yes, please.
Come on now.
The festival celebration component, which is missing and omitted, and they did not build, was right. It was going to be a tie-in to the festivals around the world. It was going to be tied into whatever. Plenty of places in Future World, when there is a festival, that they add in their components too, right, to change the theme. And the original large multi-tiered unit that was going to be there that they never built, I think lended itself to being a focal point of that area, and they were calling that, celebration, right, as part of that originally. And I think that's where my mind was. I didn't know what,
Carl. I hate doing this, but I actually have to go back and tell you that you're right. It's under World of Celebration.
Okay.
Which is also ridiculous because like the way it's mapped out, right? If you just look at it on a map and you don't read underneath, it looks like it's World of Nature. World of Nature is basically half covering that area.
Right. No, it's okay. I will.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's
Figment lives to see another day.
Yeah, John got all excited when I said you could put a Figment roller coaster in there, and he's like, "Yes."
Don't tease me like that. Come on now.
I want sparks shooting out of my ass while I'm flying. It'll be amazing.
All I could see is, them coming up with the install of the local dragon wagon from your carnival and painting it purple and saying, "Here you go, John."
Oh God.
I love
All
that.
right. So what do you think, guys? Easy enough, right? The
Oh, yeah.
concept here, easy enough.
Yeah.
Do we want to do one more each?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
All right, let's go back in reverse order. Carl, you'll get to go first this time,
Oh boy.
unless you want to break.
No, I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna go in reverse order. So Carl will back to the wheel. Let's see if he gets Epcot again. I might just take World Celebration off if you do.
Oh,
We basically just killed it. Magic Kingdom. The fitting thing here would be to get Carl Adventureland.
If that happens, there's
fitting
something
thing
right here.
I mean, if it is, I know exactly what his keep is going to be.
I like how you don't have Frontierland on here anymore because you're right.
I have Liberty Square and Frontierland combined
together. I see. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
I'm pulling for that one.
I can't wait to hear it if it
We
is.
can't remove something that hasn't been built yet.
Main Street USA.
Oh,
So everything's on the table here, Carl. Just remember that, right? You're not
Yeah.
touching any one thing.
Okay.
that's
So
tough.
it is a tough one. Let me go to the easy, obvious thing. I'm keeping the train.
See, to me, the one obvious thing that you would keep would probably be Cinderella's castle, but you took the train.
Well, I was gonna. That's why I asked that question about Fantasyland and removing all other things, because I had the envision that if Bob kept Small World, the castle was gone. I was like, what? I mean,
Yeah.
the castle's part of Fantasyland. The castle's part of Fantasyland. It's not part of Main Street.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
It's
see.
not-
You know what? I should read what's under the map sometimes and not just imagine it. But okay.
All right. So
Keeping the train. Keeping the
the
train
train.
that never operates, that Carl always complains about because it's always being refurbished, but he's keeping it anyway.
they're keeping it because they keep screwing around with the rest of the park and having to shut it down. But no,
And now
look,
it's
that was the reason for Walt building the original theme park. Was he was giving rise to everybody at Hombley Hills on his little train, and he wanted a bigger one, and his wife wanted them out of the backyard. So so the train is there. He was a train enthusiast. He sketched out Mickey Mouse for the first time on his train ride, right? Came up with the name. So the train is kind of the sacred one. Wow. So I think I'm going to, I don't know what still exists, but I'm going to refurbish and replenish what was once the area, which was once the Walt Disney World Story and Mickey's meet and greet there, that area, because that's been, gone through so many incarnations. It was preview center for Epcot, which was great. It was the original Walt Disney World Story before they did any of this stuff at Disneyland. And I'm going to make that, bring that kind of back to their glory. There's no reason with the work they did at Disneyland that you couldn't do something like that there too. But make it make it back to the Walt Disney World Story instead of the Disneyland. I think they cover that very nice now in that new show. And people are fascinated by the extra work that went into Walt Disney World and some of the backstories around that, right?
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool to have it be kind of an ode to Roy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, right? He was the guy, right? So why not do put Roy in there on what he did, because he was so instrumental on that. Or make it the Brothers Disney, right? That to give it some balance in there. But I don't know if the original mural is in there and everything, but there's a lot of stuff that was, and they do this with the Art of Imagination over in Hollywood Studios. There's a tribute to him, but I think everyone is fascinated. They did this in the China Pavilion too when they opened up Shanghai. Everyone loves going to look at those models of the newest, latest park. Yeah, they love seeing behind the scenes of an Imagineer and what they're doing, the artistry and everything. So I think that could be really retooled. If you still wanted Mickey to part of it, that's fine. But I would bring back the talking Mickey too, because why not? So that's my refurbishment project. That can go a lot of different ways. And I would even make that, you could do some rotating shows in there too. Plus the chairs in there were never as comfortable as any of the other theaters in Walt Disney World. They were like small and kind of put together. So I would put not a recliner, but a bigger chair for big dudes to sit in and enjoy.
Put in the new AMC movie theater seats, right? It's
not quite that big. Not quite that big. But it's there. So I
had a really cool idea. And I'm going to put it out here before I forget it, so that when it happens someday, we can once again come back to our show and say, somebody from Imagineering is listening to us. I think in Hollywood Studios, while they're doing this new refurbishment that they just talked about over in the Animation Courtyard, okay? I love the animation experience coming back there. I think that's super awesome. I would love to see on the opposite side, I would love to see an Imagineering experience.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see a real, you kind of just touched on it, Carl, but just a real full-blown, almost pavilion filled with Imagineering stuff, with a show about Imagineering. It would actually be awesome to have a ride themed to Imagineering, right? Just something give the Imagineers a field day, create something that talks about yourselves and put it in a ride, right? Yeah. I think that would be really cool. I'm sure they come up with something amazing. Yeah. But anyway, I want to put it in here. So now whoever it is that's listening to us and stealing our ideas and putting them into the parks has heard it. Give me a call if you want more concept.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great one.
Okay. So, what I am going to remove and get rid of, tough one, right? There's 2 or 3 things that I'm thinking about, but I think I'm going to remove totally, and no incarnation of it is coming back, the Plaza Restaurant.
Oh, thank God. That's exactly where I was going.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that was the one to cherry pick from there for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, that location could be used for so much, that's there. I mean, it's not as pretty since the waterway's not there, in front of it. It's kind of lost that touch. But they've let the quality of the food go down. Even, the ability, they used to have more complex sundaes that they'd walk because it was connected to the ice cream store, and you used to get real fancy old-fashioned sundaes. And they're doing that less too, or kind of generic. But, and that, and you could just make it I'm going to just say remove it, because, we already talked about refurbish. I know what I would do is I'm refurbish, but just get rid of that and make it something else. It doesn't have to be a restaurant, doesn't have to be a shop, but it could be a green space. Right. I'm not, just get it out of there because it's not serving its purpose. And no one's, it's right. In the immortal words of Yogi Berra, nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. So.
All right, moving on. Any comments from the group on Carl? Well, not on Carl specifically. There's a lot of comments for that. On Carl's choices.
That's when we do the roast of Carl. For clarity, of course.
John, can we put that on the show concept list? Please.
Noted.
Everybody can roast Carl.
How many people can you have on this podcast simultaneously? Because you're right. We might sell tickets and raise money for charity if everyone gets.
We'll be moving to a new platform soon, so we'll the new platform. For those of you who listen out there, we currently use StreamYard, who decided that they were going to double the price, not just increase the price, literally double the price of their platform for users like us. And we love talking to you all, but I am not paying that much money to do so. So we will be switching platforms soon. You won't know, but we will.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we are currently actively exploring a few different options right now. But there will be a seamless transition for everyone watching and listening, but it's coming. So
Anyway, moving on. Okay. Any other concepts? Are we moving on to John? All right, moving on to John. Here we go. Where do we want John to fall?
Oh, he's going to screw this up.
He's got
it's Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
He's
Double
gonna
Hollywood,
screw this
okay.
up, he says. All right, John. We'll see what land you've got. Oh, Star Wars Galaxy Edge is still on there. I would have removed it and respun it. Sunset Boulevard.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. This is too easy for John.
I mean,
This is too easy for John.
how
Where
is
is it? Here we go. All right, John.
all right? I'm gonna start with refurbish first. That whole kind of quick serve area, I feel could be done so much better over there. I get the vibe they're going for with it, with the seating and all that, but it just feels like it's thrown together, to be honest. I think you can do so much better.
So just to be clear, we're talking about the Sunshine Day Bar, the Sunset Ranch
Yes.
Market.
Yes.
Catalina Ace.
This
I mean,
one's
what would you do with it, John? Besides just so much better, like what would you?
yeah.
what would
Sorry,
you do with it?
I should have finished my thought there. I think you can, for one, transform it into an actual like inside building. Not kind of like ABC Commissary or something like that, but along that same kind of feel a little bit. But kind of keep that kind of California vibe, I think is the best way to describe it. But just modernize it, because I'm sorry, but that just doesn't work. Is that sort of beachy vibe that you get off of that a little bit? It doesn't make sense there to me. I mean, I understand where they're going with it, with the boulevard and everything, but it doesn't blend in with the other things that are there, especially with Tower of Terror at the end there, and then all the shops and everything on the other side. It just, I don't know. It doesn't flow the same to me. I just think you can create a larger building, create better seating, make it a little more comfortable, and bring in some more AC, because who doesn't want a little more AC to be able to kind of take a break? The fans are nice and everything, but more AC is always good there.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, right? Because thematically, that's 1930s, 1940s Hollywood kind of vibe you're doing now.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna, you're gonna replace that restaurant? I mean, is there an opportunity to replace it with some sort of character dining that's maybe better than Hollywood and Vine?
Are we dissecting this now, or are we going to wait till the end?
Well, I don't know. We can wait till the end. I'm just throwing in comments.
Wow. We're not letting honest opinions just come out here anymore.
We can't just let this flow, guys. We have to have structure.
No, I'm just saying.
What's the structure?
Because I mean, I think in concept what they do is right, and you're right, John. It could be so much better. All they have to do is theme the food to LA, right? And for that matter, feed it to LA, to Sunset Boulevard, right? You've got that fame. I mean, this would look so good there. But that hot dog stand called Carney's, which is an old antique train car or trolley car, I can't remember what it is in California, that has hot dogs. It would be better than the hot dogs they're serving over the other side of the park now if they modeled it off that menu. There's another fast food joint on Sunset Strip, which is The Den, which does fried chicken. They're like the best fried chicken in California. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is there, but they went with all this healthy salad stuff and everything. I mean, being a dude, I'm like, give me the meats, give me what's going on there. Right. So
you're looking for those meat sweats, huh?
Meat sweats in 90-degree weather. It's the best thing in the world.
I just think there's so much that Sunset Boulevard is known for, or, a better selection of cocktails. There's a lot of famous bars and hotels there on Sunset Boulevard that some people just hotel bar hop at the famous venues, right? That they could make similar to the outdoor dining at the Brown Derby. But if that's actually Sunset Boulevard, there's enough content from the real Sunset Boulevard, which is actually in a decent, safe place of LA that's safe to go through, that you could put together there and make a good time out of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Okay. John, what's your next choice here? We beat that one up. Non-structured.
Yes. So keeping, this one's going to shock everyone, but I am keeping Tower of Terror. I think it fits very well at the end of the street. As much as I personally don't love the ride, I think it works. Again, I have nothing personally wrong with the ride. It's that type of ride, to clarify to people, that I just don't like.
It's bad when none of us said a word. He immediately started defending himself.
I was prepared for the defense right there. So removing that big theater, that I forget the name of the theater off the top of my head, that big theater they have that's on the other side of Tower of Terror, I think that needs to go.
Sunset Boulevard Theater, where Beauty and the Beast is played?
Yeah, because let's be honest, I've honestly never bothered to go over there, and I know people have gone over there. I know a lot of people that love it, but I feel that space could be used for another type of attraction, whether it be an indoor attraction, a thrill, something. I know with what we're doing with now with retheming Rock and Roller Coaster to Muppets and everything, could that turn into something, maybe another homage to Muppets or something along those lines? Could we maybe figure something out with that, please? Because people like the Muppets. I know that ride had its time, but people want Muppets, unfortunately. Yes.
We're still very sensitive about this.
Yes.
They saved everything so they can recreate it somewhere else if they wanted to.
Yep.
Am I holding my comments? I'm not going to be Carl. I'll wait.
Just because I don't want some things gone doesn't mean I'm okay with it.
No. I meant structure-wise. I wasn't going to jump in, and I was going to. There's no
structure. There's no structure.
That theater's held 3 different shows over its lifetime. It's held Tarzan Rocks, it's held Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's held Beauty and the Beast.
Tarzan Rocks was over.
Oh no, that was that's right. Other one, there was something else that was there, but you got to have things like that though to kind of break it up in the park, because not everybody's going to do rides. So you got to look at it from a multi-general perspective. A theater show, maybe change the show. Maybe do a Moana show or do something that's more current as you progressed over the years. But you got to have something that grandma and grandpa who don't do the rides can do with the grandkids, while mom and dad can go do Tower of Terror or go have a drink or do something. So there's always those, I don't want to call them burner attractions or burner rides, that are like the fill-ins to detract people from piling on to you're going from an A ticket to an E ticket. You need a few A tickets to ease up on the crowds of the E tickets.
I think you're right. I mean, you gotta do something for the old people so that they can whatever. So Carl, what show would you put in there?
So interesting. The original one was the Theater of the Stars, and they did special events there too, right? When they did like Star Wars weekends or celebrity weekends or soap weekends, they used to do all this stuff in there before they put the shows in there. It's interesting when you looked at some of the original, when all the parks were there and they were talking about how to, like, touring plans on how to tour the parks. They're like, Magic Kingdom, too much riding, Epcot, too much walking, and in Hollywood studios, too much sitting, because everything was a theater show. That's, you're in Hollywood, you're watching, going from show to show to show, right? And that was the nature of the beast, no pun intended, on that theater. But so I don't know if I changed the show. It's still fairly popular. It's also always funny to see the bloopers when Chip falls over and you see the feet of the character stick out, or the head of Beast fall off, or something like that.
I think if anything, enclose it in air conditioning, so there's that air conditioning respite instead of having, you're fighting the elements and everything else.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? They tried to replicate the LA, theater that is so famous, but it's not LA weather, it's Florida weather, right? To your point, Bob. So, I think you could, you can even do outdoor air conditioning. Some theme parks do that, and I know it's expensive and kind of a waste, but there's no reason why you couldn't do something like that in that theater and make it more pleasant.
There's a place, I'm sure at least one of you has heard of it before, that they make giant fans for places like that.
Yes.
The name of the company is called Big Ass Fan.
Yep.
And number one, it's a fantastic company. I've actually had the pleasure to work with them a couple of times. But number two, like, that is exactly what they make those for, is situations like that you can put it on an overhang and cool an entire audience at one time with one fan. Yeah.
So what's your third thing, John? I'm sorry to jump in, Ryan.
That's all right. I'm not allowed to talk today. Carl doesn't want me unless I'm structured. He's going to press the button.
No, I want you to talk. You hang on.
I can't talk.
Oh, boy.
You hang on. I want you to talk. I just thought, did John do all three? He didn't do his...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I started with refurb, went to keep, and then just finished with...
I was going to say, before we have our guest do the grand finale final pick, why don't we give Ryan a shot at this game he created and see how freaking smart he is?
I mean, that's fine, except that I've been commenting along the way.
Yeah, he's been well around.
Honestly, I haven't thought about it, but sure, if you want me to do one,
it's commenting after someone says something is different than having to come up with the original thought.
For sure. I'll do one. I'm here for it. All right, let's go.
Come on, Animal.
For the record, Animal Kingdom was for anything in the park in case I land on it. I didn't want to have that happen after I landed on it.
Oh, we got Hollywood again.
You got to take the other two off. The other.
I did. And then I saved it. Yeah, I took them off already. Let's see. Man, Hollywood Boulevard sucks.
Oh.
There's not much to Hollywood Boulevard. So I'm going to go with the easy keep. And the easy keep is going to be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And I think, honestly, it took forever for us to finally get an attraction that has Mickey and Minnie in it, right? So I don't want to touch it right now. I also think it's a really cool ride, and even though it's got an earworm that John may want to start the place on fire for, I think it's catchy, and it really does fit the whole family dynamic. So to me, that's the easy keep. You know what? The remove, and I'm going to catch some grief for this, but the remove, I'm going to remove the Trolley Car Cafe, because I am so freaking sick of Starbucks being in everything. I am just tired of it, right? Like, it's not the Trolley Car Cafe. It's a freaking Starbucks. So I'm going to take that one easily, and I'm going to remove that entirely. And because I don't look at maps, I don't need to double check and make sure my final one is actually considered in that land.
Neither did any of us, by the way. So
yeah. Man, this is a tough one because it's not what I was hoping would be there. In terms of refurbish, it's just not a big land. There's not a lot left to do. So I'm going to take I don't know, the Hollywood Brown Derby, I guess. I don't want to refurbish a shop. So I'm going to refurbish the Hollywood Brown Derby. And honestly, if I'm going to refurbish it, I'm just going to change it entirely to something new. I think that they need a better character dining experience in Hollywood Studios than what they have currently. It might be a stretch, but I would maybe theme it more towards the other side of the park. I don't know if I can do this. I wouldn't create a rule, but instead of theming it towards the Hollywood Boulevard, retheme it towards the animation side and have an animation themed restaurant of some sort in there. Maybe have a character meet and greet with Sorcerer Mickey, who fits really well in that park.
You can meet him in the park already.
Sure. Yeah. I know you can meet him in a couple places. You can meet him in Disneyland in his house, right?
No, but at Sorcerer Mickey, you meet him in Hollywood Studios.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You're talking about the red carpet.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call that, with Minnie in her pink dress too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never stand in that line because it's always too long. But yeah, okay. But you could move them inside the character meet and greet, right? Inside of a dining experience, character dining. I just think that there's the Hollywood Brown Derby, to me, like, it's a classic. It makes sense thematically. The food is
mediocre,
overrated at best.
Not for a signature restaurant.
And when you're talking about like the drink menu is great if you're 50 and older, but like, you're not catching the young crowd in there. Like, my kids have zero interest in sitting in that restaurant. It is not multi-generational. It's older generational. Sorry.
I know what I do, but it would be too close to the Derby. You guys probably still wouldn't like it, but maybe I could convince you, Ryan. I would convert it to Walt Disney's favorite restaurant in LA, the Tam O'Shanter. The Tam O'Shanter was an Irish-Scottish bar, which had great food at it. It was, one step down from the Raglan Rose, and it still would have that kind of place where, the whole premise is that's where Hollywood meets and greets, and their pictures on the walls, and they're making deals, right? So it fits into Sunset Boulevard,
sure.
Hollywood Boulevard and everything. But Tam O'Shanter's was his. He never went to the Brown Derby. That was downtown. Tam O'Shanter was out closer to the studios, and that's where he went. If you go on the Disney tour out there, right? Bob is lunch there, right?
Yep.
Adventures by Disney. So yeah. So I mean, that's what I would put there, but it might be too close to the same thing, Ryan.
I will never say no to an Irish bar.
See, I knew I could get a hook.
I will never say no. You toss an Irish dancer in there, and I promise you, the kids will be just fine. They will be just fine. Yeah. So I got a crappy one. I wish I had a better one, but that's where we're going. Are we okay to move on now, Carl?
Bob can take us home.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with
that. Do you see what I'm saying? It is a little different, Ryan, when
I'm fully aware that it was different. I wish I had gotten one that wasn't like one attraction and two restaurants.
That's all. Suck there is really.
I would have.
Yeah, I did that to myself theoretically. Like, one of you guys could have gotten shafted with that one instead. But
all right, no whammy.
Stop.
No whammy.
There we go. Finally.
So, I said it last time because I didn't want it to be like, oh yeah, you're just saying that now. But Animal Kingdom is 25% of Animal Kingdom is under construction right now, so that's a problem. So for me, it's already a half-day park before that. So for me, I think the entire park is on the plate for this. And I didn't separate it into lands. So feel free to cherry pick your way through Animal Kingdom on what you want and what you don't want.
Okay. So what I would get rid of and redo completely and do it right this time is get rid of Kali River Rapids and actually make it worth the while. Make it by like Bear River Run in California Adventure, where it means something to get wet. There's a little more thrill to it. I understand the whole logic behind it was trying to teach about conservation and ripping the land from us and all that other stuff. Most kids don't give a rat's patoot about that anymore. They want to know if mom's going to get wet, if I'm going to get wet, you're going to get wet. And they try to make it more interesting when they added when people could squirt you from the top and whatever, and I'll get you, you son of a bitch, for squirting me. But that's the one that really just needs it. Definitely, and also I think that Conservation Station needs a little bit more of an overhaul. It's kind of lost some. Okay, great. Kids like to ride the train. That's wonderful. You can pet some pigs and some goats and whatever. But unless there's a surgery going on, or, that's when they move the artist piece there. That's kind of interesting. But, to take the time out to get on a tram, go all the way out there to do not much, and then you turn around and come right back out. And you're kind of wasting the little time that you have in there.
Rafiki and Timon are the only reasons to take that train, as far as I'm concerned. That's the only place you can meet them. That's it. So yeah, otherwise I agree with you. The petting zoo in there is a joke.
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. Like this is Disney. Like, what is this petting zoo with four goats inside of it? Great.
And a pig. And the big pig.
That's true, and one big fat pig who I don't even see.
There's plenty of places
that's
around.
Just bacon waiting to happen. What?
There's plenty of places around Disney where you can pet goats and pigs. I'm just saying.
Easy, buddy.
But I'll tell you, I've never been there, guys. I've never gotten around to taking the train out there. There's not a bar out there, so I have no reason to go.
I mean, the animation station is cool, right? Like that's.
Do you think that'll move into the courtyard? Do you think they'll kind of do something better out there and move that to the courtyard?
Yeah, I think so. But
that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And obviously the one thing you keep and don't touch and don't ruin is and you can't. I mean, the safari is the safari. And it's kind of, it's never the same twice. Sometimes it sucks and you go in the middle of the day and nobody's out there. And sometimes you're going out there just as they're feeding them. And then, obviously you're going to see them more. And I still have yet to hear the lion roar, but, everybody else who gets to see it that time is, and we have a younger lion now, so there's more of an opportunity. But you can have a rhinoceros rub against your car or take a shit in front of you or watch a giraffe, drink another giraffe's pee to see if it's ready to have sex. Those are the things you learn.
What kind of safari are you going on?
Wow.
Like rubbing rhinos and
wow.
Wow, Adventure Bob.
What's happening?
Animal Kingdom After Dark. No, we were literally, we literally had and they were being very technical, but they were like the way, or maybe I watched it on the Disney Plus show where they talked about the male giraffes will know if the woman is ready to rock and roll by tasting her urine, and he'll know that she's ready to go.
I think we've just turned this into a refurbishment. This is now the red light district of Animal Kingdom.
All right.
We'll put the
welcome
if you got them.
on the show now.
And that's it for today, folks. Have a great day. Thank you.
It's Bob's Safari. He's not a zoologist. He just likes animals. Hi,
listen,
I'm Bob.
The amount of kinky sex I've seen the animals do in Animal Kingdom is ridiculous.
I saw not in Animal Kingdom, actually at our local zoo. I saw a gorilla handle his own business and then throw it at another gorilla. That was amazing.
The be-all, end-all for me and Ed was, the monkeys where they sometimes pipe in the noise that they're right by the Kilimanjaro safaris, right in that Asia area. So Ed and I are there, and this dad standing next to us with a little girl, and we're not really focused, but we hear the little girl say, "Daddy, look, I'm like one of the monkeys," and she's standing in front of her father doing the back and forth motion because the one monkey was performing oral sex on the other monkey. When the father realized what was happening, he grabbed, and it was like a Bugs Bunny commercial. Her legs were in the air flapping. There was dust, and he was gone. I was like, Ed just could not stop laughing his ass off because he's like, did we just see what we just saw?
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
So
this is exactly why the safari must stay.
Exactly.
Exactly why the safari must stay. I agree with you. I think the safari is the best attraction in Animal Kingdom by far. I love Everest and I love the Pandora area, but you're right. It's never the same experience. It's amazing.
Yeah.
amazing.
And,
Guys,
I mean,
go ahead, Bob.
no, and it's fun because you've seen it grow. Like you've seen the animals be born, and then all of a sudden, they're full-grown animals, and now that we have new animals. Like it's exciting that we have a new tiger there, and especially species that are endangered. Disney's doing entertainment, but also the conservation piece of it has always been tried and true to the Disney family. That they're still putting it to task there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Any thoughts, comments on Bob's other choices or that choice?
I think he nailed it. I think
Yeah,
he nailed it. Other than maybe refurbishing Everest to fix the Yeti. I mean, that's an obvious one too.
Yeah, Disco Yeti. Yeah,
That's a
I
layup.
mean, I think that's a hope and dream out of everybody. But
All right. That's it, Carl. That's the game. I hope it didn't stress you out too much and make you
I think
too
this is great.
this is
Great game, Ryan, and thank you for the element of surprise. And it's like anything experience with Ryan. Once you do it a few times, you feel much better about yourself.
Yeah, that's how I got married.
You had some alone time with Sharon, Carl, to have some conversation, huh?
We did bond on the last trip in Chicago. I have to say,
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah, she has more in common with John and I than Ryan would like to admit. So
No, I admit it. Again, this is the woman I married because I saw her in love at first sight because she was drinking beer straight out of the pitcher. Okay, trust me, I know she's got plenty in common with everybody. I'm excited for her to meet. She's met all three of you clowns, but I'm excited for her to meet more people soon. So,
in a couple months, right? Yeah,
a couple months. We'll all be together. Well, Carl won't be there because
he's a
Carl's
schmuck.
Carl.
We're gonna hear a speedboat coming up on the side of the ship playing the Charlie's Angels music, and there'll be Carl coming at us.
Speedboat's name is going to be Rhino.
Hey, Bob, thanks for joining us. Ryan, thanks for the great idea. And until next time, later, dudes.
Later, dudes.
Later, dudes.
Later, dudes.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Dudes Dish Disney. Please check us out on social media. On Facebook at Dudes Dish Disney. On Instagram at Dudes Dish Disney. On X at Disney_Dish. Please check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe at Dudes Dish Disney. Please visit our sponsor, Magic Vacations, at magicvacations.net. More than just a travel agency, Magic Vacations has over 60 Magic Vacation planners committed to bringing you white glove concierge service. Using a Magic Vacation planner allows you to spend more time making memories and less time worrying about the details. For all of your Disney, Universal, cruise, and global travel, go to magicvacations.net. Magic Vacations. Discover the magic of travel.